What's up, baby dolls? Crypto's juiciest news. Bitcoin is at $71,000. Ethereum has ticked under $4,000. It's at $3,950. I can come and show you the chart. I know you like coming. It's a family-friendly show. This is the Bitcoin chart, around 71K here and there. Nothing to be concerned there, our friends. But of course, we're just waiting to see, are you going to start distributing? I've got to remind you, what's everybody here actually waiting for? It's actually funny because we had a look at this 4-year fractal. My gosh, we are running ahead of schedule. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. Can you imagine this actually follows, friends? Let this be a lesson. I was watching Blockchain Backup. I was watching everyone else. We had these great theses, the inverted yield curve, the Bitcoin spot ETF. That's why, friends, see, I know because I'm like a public figure talking to you guys, everyone wants me to guess what comes next, what comes next. But I don't see everything all the time, and I don't know what comes next. It's just like, okay, I guess probabilities of this. Okay, 65% chance this happened. But that's only 65%. Maybe the other 35% chance you're going to get blindsided. But the beautiful part is about long-term investing, you don't need to know what happens next. Okay, and even if you did, you'd probably still screw it up. Right? So it's all about, obviously, the long-term gains, compounding. That's what all it comes down to. So even if you know the event or if you think you have to trade, that's trading. You don't need to do that. You're playing for the whole cycle, buying in the depression, selling in euphoria. That's pretty much it. Okay, so even though we had all these reasons, well, okay, Bitcoin ETF, Trojan horse. Yes, it's still a Trojan horse. All of these things are still true, but the price can still go up. The price can still go up. I mean, who's the biggest proponent of the Trojan horse of this theory of all? Da Vinci. You know what his price target is? $1 million Bitcoin. He literally goes, yeah, they're going to pump it up to $1 million and then crash it down 95% in some fatal bug, but everybody's offside now, even though it just comes back to this price. That's one of his theories from many, many years ago, okay? So I'm just opening your mind to this. Now, why is this important, friends? It's important because we had so many reasons to be bearish, but the crowd wasn't euphoric yet. So we just stay long in altcoins. I kept telling you, yes, there's all these potential risks. They're just risks, right? I don't see any euphoria. The real risk I'm thinking about is when grandmas and grandpas and dog with hats on the Las Vegas sphere and all these other crazy stuff is happening. That's what we're waiting for. Coinbase app ranking #1 or at least top 10. That's the real risk. We didn't see that. And then look what happens. The market, there's the blitz move up. No one expected this, right? I mean, it could have gone sideways. What we might find, though, is, friends, that this thing can go sideways again here and distribute anyway. So it's fantastic to see that. Guess what? Holding this time, surprise to the upside. Because, crypto has done much more surprises to the downside than to the upside for a very, very long time. And what we can do is now quickly glance at the altcoin dominance, right? This is really the alt season. That's why alts have been running. We're still waiting to see, is the US Fed going to cut on their rates? There was actually a CPI recently. Let me have a look. And what you could do is just go to the CME Fed Watch tool. Now, the March meeting now, 99% chance, no change up here. What I'm going to do is change it to the May meeting. What about May? That's going to be crazy. Okay, 86% chance of no change. This is actually what we want, friends, because they only start cutting when everything starts turning. Okay, the economy starts turning. So what about June? This is the big one, friends. This is the kicker. Okay, June's percent chance is still almost 69%. So there you go. The Fed, it's funny, the CPI reading a bit tiny hot. No, the market still believes, and the Fed usually follows the market with this, okay, because they give signals to price things in earlier. Market believes 69% chance of the rate cut in May, which we're hoping that is like a marker of the top signal. And just to speed you up to, friends, there are still soy boys sidelined. Okay, they're in the wrong coins, friends. There are people bag holding stable coins. They didn't get in. There are people bag holding coins that aren't moving. Okay, the whole portfolios and stuff's not moving at all. If we get this mania of altcoins, just like DeFi season, friends, this is what happened in DeFi season. People who are bag holding XRP and everything else, just other stuff, they came into and they bought altcoins at the end of DeFi season because they just couldn't take it anymore. So we're going to see, right? Is this going to happen as well? Let's also play some nice. It's going to be very bizarre if that happens because all these people cheering for their coin saying, we're going to move up, and they start FOMOing into whatever comes at the very, very end. It's crazy. Now, you're probably wondering, what's that got to do with the US interest rates? It's got plenty to do with it because the US Fed cutting rates is the final signal for weak hands to enter. They go, oh my gosh, they're going to print money from now on. I think rate cuts are a great thing. No, rate cuts going to zero is great, but the first thing is the bad reaction, okay? We also are on Bitcoin's current 7th green monthly candle. You can see that's why it's actually still huge that we're still up here. There's nothing really to be concerned about. I'm going to show you right now. 7 green monthly candles. Wow. See, friends, I always draw this just in case. So what I do is I'll draw the patterns and I'm like, how do I feel about that chart? You know, does that look like really ugly or really bad? And what will the altcoins do? I keep thinking about that. But, you know, we still haven't seen Bitcoin distribute. And by Bitcoin distributing means it's slowing down and hopefully it pumps other stuff. Okay, now, the daily new addresses of Solana have hit a new all-time high. Solana adoption continues to be strong. There's a lot of people punting around still on all the Solana meme coins. All of it is cheating. They're making dog with a hat, cat with a hat, Joe Biden with a hat. Everything's just going nuts over there. There is massive, massive alt season stuff still happening, but it's end of times type of things, okay? Because yes, we basically said, okay, the fluff's over. Yes, there's basically now everybody's just full on gambling. You're just people are launching stuff and going up. I mean, similar to what you guys saw. Remember, friends, Landwolf hit 150x. Okay, so congratulations to everybody in the Landwolf community. Especially, I put it out, friends. Don't join my friend tech, but I put it in my friend tech there first. I did not know it was going to go 150x in 3 days. 150x, man. That's crazy. That's nuts, man. That's crazy. So everyone's still got big targets. Remember, you're playing for the Ribbeting. You got to catch yourself up to all these Ribbeting. Everybody wants all these altcoins, meme coins. You can't, friends. I don't think people want to be gaslit and say, oh, altcoins aren't moving. Yeah, they are. They're moving. There's a lot of stuff out there that's moving. Sure, we don't have the end of times alt season yet. That's why we're all still ultimately long, okay? But Solana seems to be grabbing all the addresses of everybody joining in so far. The Bloomberg analyst said there's only 30% chance of the Ethereum ETF approval in May. So that's pretty much important to consider. Look, I wonder, because we all know, for example, Richard Hart, he did the trade. He's got 170,000 ETH now. So it's kind of like, I know a lot of people, they're very confused. They're like, wait a minute. I thought we're meant to be long-term staking. I thought HEX is a superior asset. How come you're using the funds to buy Ethereum? But it's just part of the game, friends. This is talking narratives and then there's actions, okay? We try to look at the actions of the market and the pricing and what everyone's really doing. Other people just want to listen to the words and what people are saying, okay? We don't care what people are saying because they're euphoric at tops and they're depressed at bottoms. So we can't be in sync with them, okay? So you can't really trust any of that. So that's just something to think about. I have here the line of where Richard Hart is roughly long. So he's probably betting that this, look, he's probably betting this thing's going to happen, right? That's what he's betting it, that this thing's going to happen. Man, that'd be ballistic if we do get that. That'd be amazing because all the other altcoins would go absolutely nuts. More bullish news for you. MetaMask has tested its first blockchain-powered payment card with MasterCard, and here I am joking. Hopefully it's on PulseChain instead of Ethereum because Ethereum's gas fees are getting ridiculous, friends. Oh my gosh. Look, yes, you can pay a fee. No, but you got to think about your risk reward. People aren't buying stuff in depression prices. They're playing momentum, okay? Which means, friends, if Ethereum's gas fee, it's going to be $200 a trade, all right? And you probably think, no, it's not. It's clogged. There's too many people who want to use it. Too many people, right? So much demand. It's New York, digital New York, pretty much. And PulseChain caters for the little guy. Now, when it comes to Ethereum, if $200 gas fee, that means your minimum clip needs to be $2,000 minimum. Because if you're paying $200 gas fee and a couple of percent slippage in some stuff, you're paying like 12% just to get in. And then you're going to lose 12% to get out of that investment. Like, whoa, you're putting in $2,000, you're automatically down $450. That's crazy, man. You need like a 35% just to get break even. That's ridiculous. So you need more like $5,000 minimum clips, $4,000, unless, of course, you need the thing to go really, really far. You can't be going in for anything less than 4x. You really can't. You just got to be holding and stuff. But everybody knows this, friends. That's why, you know, that's the whole game. Also, I got a trick for you. I made a post. Got a lot of things to cover, friends. People said you can do Uniswap limit orders, but I don't know how much it costs. But if you want, what you should do is to prepare for the bull market is, if you have any Ethereum and you haven't deployed it and you just feel safer with it, go to 1inch, convert all your ETH to WETH. Wrapped Ethereum. So it's the same thing. They trade one for one. Okay, so it's wrapped Ethereum, the exact same smart contract thing. But when you do that in one transaction, now you can place limit orders for like $1 or 50 cents on Ethereum. Okay, or I don't even think it costs anything. It's just an approval transaction. Maybe just an approval. Yeah, maybe $5 instead of $200. So basically, what you get to do is you can place limit orders to buy and to sell. You can do that. And because when you place a limit order, when someone fills you, they pay the gas fee to execute. Okay, so that's one tip you can do if you want to prepare for the high gas fees later on. But then you're going to you can't be using market orders. You just have to use limit orders and try to do it inside market and stuff. If that sounds too confusing to you, friends, then it shouldn't be. But look, it's better just to deploy your ETH. Because if someone had, oh, I got 10 ETH right now, I'll go, sweet, I don't know, go buy PulseChain, PulseX, go buy other stuff, start yield farming, do whatever you want, just deploy that, because that's probably going to make you more money just holding stuff that you think is still undervalued. Now, let's get to the crux of things, man. This is very interesting, all right? I calculated, okay, if Ethereum goes to $11,000 on this chart, so this is ETH, okay? If ETH goes to $11,000 up here, all right, $11,000, then Richard Hart sells $11,000 of all the ETH with the sacrifice, no expectations money. But like, friends, yes, everyone in the community, 200,000 people see that. Oh, it's no expectations. It was a sacrifice. Okay, but the other 30 million people outside of crypto, they go, oh, I know what's happening. Richard Hart's trading with the money. He's going to trying to make long Ethereum. He's going to take the profits out and rotate. That's what everyone sees it as. So I'm here to just give you a balance view. That's what 30 million people outside of the community see it as. Everybody in the community have been told by Richard, it's no expectations and stuff, but you know everybody's basically just, I'm trying to beat around the bush. Also, quickly, friends, some of you mentioned, can you please go back to saying Greg the Duck and maybe this and maybe that, all these other fun words? Friends, I can't. You know why? Because it's bull market time. I am accommodating for you. You don't have time. You got 50,000 things to worry about. Green candles are going everywhere. No one has the time to think about things and dwell on things. And all the outside of jokes, they're gone from last year. There's new people coming in now. These people move the market. They're like, man, what the hell are you talking about? I don't get all these innuendos and jokes. They need to be told critical, specific information. Okay, Richard Hart controls PulseChain address, 99% chance. Okay, 1% chance he doesn't. All right, he has bought Ethereum from using the sacrifice fund. He didn't buy Bitcoin. He didn't buy everything else. He bought 170,000 Ethereum. Okay, he's tweeted about the Ethereum ETF. So we all think that he's just long Ethereum to sell the top. That's basically what you have to summarize stuff for everyone now. Okay, it is what it is. That was bear market stuff, the fun stuff. Okay, now let's go. This is where the fun stuff actually makes you rich though. So if he sold Ethereum at 11K, just 11K, right? I hope it goes higher. Just to let you know, right? His target implies a 12 to 24,000 ETH minimum. And he actually believes Ethereum is going to flip Bitcoin. So it's actually a $30,000 ETH pretty much based off his Bitcoin ratio. Okay. So that's why PulseChain and PulseX and HEX and Inc., they're all leverage on ETH now. It's leverage on Richard Hart making the right decision to sell and hold and ETH going up and then doing it. Okay. No expectations. Wink, 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 wink. You get it. No expectations. So it's 121x from today if he does that, okay? And I'm going to play for you some nice pump music because I'm going to show you the charts right now. If you actually want to see what actually happens, friends, at 121x, let's just say 120x. So you can calculate that. What I did was, I'll show you the post right here. Okay, what I went to, I basically calculated all the liquidity. So you go to PulseX and I added up all the liquidity on multiple websites. So if it did, remember, this is kind of unrealistic because how many people are going to front run Richard doing it? That's number one. And number two, how many people are going to click sell and fight it along the way? We don't know that net balance. It's just that, okay, theoretically, if this Ethereum went up and everyone held hands and said, we're never going to sell, okay, and he inserted the money in, I think roughly, my calculations could be wrong, it's 120x. So PulseX would actually hit 1 penny, 0.01, which is 1,000x from the low. That is 70x above day one sack, okay? That's if that happened around there. PulseChain would hit 2 cents, which is 0.02. That is 200x above day one sack, okay? If that happened. pHEX hits $2.40. And then based off today's ratio, eHEX hits 48 cents. Now, that is assuming eHEX, pHEX is 0.2, which is what it is roughly around today, which means eHEX is just 20% of pHEX's price. You know, so obviously the pHEX maxis are probably going to tell you that eHEX stays at 1 penny and then pHEX goes to $3. But I think it's very, very unlikely you're going to see stuff like that happen because just the mania and people coming in. Like, friends, we saw, for example, with Landwolf, people buying the wrong ones, the old rug ones from the rug dev who left and stuff. They just bought that because they just didn't know. Because, you know what I mean? People just rush in. They don't think. It is what it is. You can't help everyone. It's a bull market. Also, incentive token would hit $1,000. So if those numbers excite you, I mean, they excite me because you know why? Because, okay, this is the PulseChain PLS chart. Here you go. If you got like 120x, you see it's around 0.02 up here, as you can see. So if those numbers excite you, well, they should, because let's say you got to account for everything, friends. Like, look, I know no one talks about this scenario. What if ETH stops at $8,000 and that's the top? What if it lets everybody down? I know no one wants to cover that, but I'm just telling you, that's one of the scenarios, man. We're not guaranteed everything. What if it stops at $8,000? We go, okay, that's sweet. Is it? What if Richard doesn't sell $8,000? And then the next stop is back to 4? Okay, I'm just helping you prepare, friends. I'm just helping you prepare. You got to analyze these risks. That's it. What if Ethereum stops at 8K? That's what I'm thinking. Okay, next one. What if Ethereum goes to 11K like it's predicted? What if the price is right? Ethereum, Bitcoin, he sells, but then you have too many sharks fighting along the way, exiting. Because remember, he would be inserting $1.8 billion in at Ethereum 11K. 1.8 billion. So if he inserted 1.8 billion, you got to think about it, right? At 100x, just letting you know, no, this is not FUD. Just telling you. You want to know the truth? Rectum Rochelle would have 13.5 billion at that point. So he has 13.5 billion, but Richard's inserted 1.8 billion into the liquidity pool. So these guys theoretically got 13.5 billion. He could literally just take it out. He could. Okay, now I'm not trying to scare everyone's face. Just like, okay, Bitcoin ETF goes up. Michael Saylor could be dumping right now. He's 200,000 near Bitcoin. He could be dumping it. It's also theoretical, right? But look, I want to be careful with telling you these imaginary horribles because every single person who in the HEX community who said, don't worry about these imaginary horribles, look what all of them happened, okay? Because they all came wrong. Okay, I don't want to jinx it. They said SEC going after Richard will never happen because Richard planned to make HEX not a security. Okay, they said it will never happen. They got it's an imaginary horrible. Okay, it happened. They said HEX wouldn't drop like more than 95%. That's an imaginary horrible. Guess what? It did. They said HEX wouldn't go under a penny. Minus 99% imaginary horrible. It did. Just say. Another thing. He said, well, let the market decide and it's imaginary horrible. Don't worry. You just, if you're in both EHEX and pHEX, no matter how the market plays out for the whole bull market, you will be fine. Okay, imaginary horrible. Unfortunately, so far, got crushed again. Richard comes out and basically takes one of his kids' EHEX, puts a shotgun to the back of the head, bang! Blows the shotgun bullet into the back of his son's skull, and just brain splattered everywhere. He turns to his pHEX child and goes, don't worry, you're my favorite child. So that's, everyone's like, what the hell? I didn't sign up for that. That's another imaginary horrible. It actually happened, okay? So what I'm just explaining to you, imaginary horrible has happened every single time. So I'm not going to call this next part, I don't want to say imaginary horrible, because the whole thing is cursed, but now I'm just identifying you the risk because you want to know these, friends. Because guess what? If this works out, you kill it. You absolutely crush it. Crush it. PulseX is already 6x from the low, by the way. If PulseX, if let's say the 120x number, let's say it's too much. Let's say you got to divide it by 3. 40x from today. 40x from today, friends, is an enormous amount of money. Do you know how much 40x from today is? You know, if you've invested 6 months of living expenses into Richard Hart's coins and you got a 40x, you don't have to work for 20 years. That's right, 20 years. In fact, you never need to work for life. Yeah, you'll pay tax, but then you can earn and live off the yield. So you pay a third of that tax, now you've got like 14 years of living expenses. Guess what? You can just earn yield on that. Put in SDI like Richard Hart and earn 5% of that. Isn't that? Whoa, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, you actually be able to live off that. That's crazy. 40 months is a lot. So if, look, but let me tell you something. Okay, well, we'll have to keep being conservative. What if it's only 10x? If it's only 10x from here, well, you should have bought when the corrupt SEC came after him and it was like super, super cheap prices. So I hope and I pray this Ethereum trade goes right, okay? Because clearly you're seeing like, okay, a lot of the talking points have been dissolved. Bitcoin, $72,000. No one's bridging in, okay? In fact, I bridged in, friends. Guess what? Guess what? This is the funny part. People who owned HEX, emergency end staked EHEX, and sold their pHEX and then bridged out after Richard's anti-EHEX tweet. Guess what I did? I bridged in. I bought more Pulse and PulseX. Okay? Congratulations, friends. You're very, very welcome. Okay? I bought more Pulse and PulseX this week. I'll be buying again next week. Injecting fresh capital. Actually buying. Okay? Buy. Still cheap. Okay? So that's another thing to think about. So look, I know there's a lot of factors to go through, but hey, this is the thesis. This is the thesis. Okay? So I want to share with you just some numbers as well. It takes today about $166 million to go 4x for the whole ecosystem. Remember, the whole ecosystem, if you go to GoPulse, you can just add up all the market caps here, non-origin address. And friends, what you want to do is, okay, I know people are wondering, how do you get the X's? It's the Uniswap V2 formula. So if you double the offer, okay, so if there's $100 million willing to sell of a coin, if you inject $100 million, you've now doubled the offer, okay? You've doubled it. So now you have 200 million. So because you've doubled it, the price will go 4x. It's a square. If you 3x the offer, it goes 9x. If you 10x the offer, you go 100x. So there's $160 million willing to sell all the PulseChain coins, PulseChain, PulseX, HEX, Inc, everything, okay? $160 million. So if you want 100x, you got to do 10 times that. So put in like 1.6 billion, which is Richard Hart's trade, right? If that trade works out, 1.6 billion, you get 100x. And that will be total ultimate glory. But of course, what if he injects 100 million and then people sell 30 million? And then he injects 200 million, people sell 100 million. You see that sway of the market? That's the most important part, okay? And also, it would be very, very thin for the whole ecosystem. So the market cap theoretically would be $600 billion-ish. And then you're only resting on like 2 billion of liquidity. So how realistic is it? That's very, very, very thin liquidity. It's only like 0.3% of the market cap. So, but look, a lot of things can change here and there, but I'm just showing you that's what it would look like. That's why probably if we got there, it would be short-lived. Because you'd be like, wait a minute, there's 600 billion valuation, but there's only 2 billion of liquidity holding this thing up. What if like the stock market or Bitcoin crashes in the next 6 months? These people are going to be grabbing the liquidity from the pool and stuff, okay? So here I am to inform you, friends. I'd just like to take a moment to tell you that, can I tell you how many times when I tell you what's going on, people, always get like a snarky comment here and there. People get abusive because they hate me keeping you informed. They hate me reading everything for you. You know why? I realize, like, why do you guys hate me just telling what everybody always... I go, oh, I realized. Because they want to dump early. That's why. They're not even actually believers. These people want to sell their pHEX at 10 cents, but they'll tell you it's going to $1. They will, friends. They will. Mark my words, they will. I've already got the tweets planned. Once that level... I'm going to show you right now, friends. Well, yeah, I've been waiting for it. Friends, I can read these people like a book. These people think they're geniuses. They're not, friends. Okay, we are not geniuses either. We are peanut brains. Okay, let me tell you right this. Okay, we're going to go back. Look, I'll tell you right now. By the way, oh no, Combined HEX is now below 2.2 cents. So there you go. Market reaction to Richard Hart's pro pHEX tweet is net exit. They've actually net exited. eHEX and pHEX net exit. So they've been like, you know what? I'm done. I don't like this. Actually, the beneficiary of this is Pulse and PulseX, by the way, which have been continuing to stretch. But yeah, that's a bummer. Hey, don't worry. We'll make it. So look, 10 cents, 20 cents. Look, I've marked these levels here, friends. They're significant price levels. Look at this. PulseChain testnet version 3, 10 to 12 cents here. The fake launch price, 20 cents. PulseChain PulseX sacrifice is 25 cents. These are all significant prices. All right? I just use Combined HEX price because that's what Combined HEX price, friends, tells you people's dollar amount in their portfolio. That's why. So people think I use... This is weird. Very, very strange. People are upset that we're using Combined HEX price because they think it means you want to keep eHEX alive. No, friends, you can sell eHEX and send it to zero right now. I don't care. Literally, send it minus 100%. In fact, ask Richard Hart, go put the origin address, go dump everything in zero. I don't mind. I'm going to be fine. Okay, we're literally completely set. We're fine. But I'm just telling you, when it comes to like this CHEX, the reason why it's important is like more tricks that pHEX maxis and other people don't want me to tell you. Okay, I'll tell you. More tricks is, why do you use Combined HEX? It's because in people's portfolio, they're looking at the dollar amount. Okay, so people remember what their portfolio said at 10 cents, at 20, at 25. They remember that they remember that number. They remember going, oh man, I had $1 million at 25 cents. That's what they remember. They remember the $1 million. You know how I know this? Mr. Silvertooth, friends. Mr. Silvertooth at 55 cents had $1 million at the very, very top, 50 cents at the top. Okay, didn't sell. It was down 74% down in 90 days later. I never came back, okay, unfortunately. And also, Mr. Silvertooth said he's leaving the Richard Hart community, unfortunately. Did we lose another soul? Now, why they don't want me to talk about the Combined HEX, right? Everyone knows that dollar amount. They know that dollar amount. They know, hey, man, I really want that $1 million again. But what I'm telling you by showing you, you can type in CHEX into the Combined HEX price. So you just type in CHEX into Dex Screener. What you now get to see is a representation of their emotions. So you get to see, oh my gosh, okay, you remember having $1 million at your portfolio? Well, when Combined HEX is 25 cents, the level, you are going to have $1 million in your portfolio again, or probably even more. And now I know you are thinking about that memory of the past and the embarrassment you felt when it went down 98%, 96%, and all the other stuff they've went through. They're like, I wonder if they're going to be soy boys there and just break even, or not break even, right? They want to get out around $1 million. Because basically what happens, friends, they see $1 million, they go, no deal. They wait 4 years, it comes back. Okay, deal this time. But they basically say that 4 years meant nothing. So that's why I'm here to keep you informed, okay? And that's why I tell you, friends, I have so much confidence in what we're doing because it's been working already. You can all know this, and I know people are still going to make the wrong decision. I tell people the right decision to make all the time. It's funny, I've been telling you, hey, there's a trade here for you want a lottery ticket. Everyone's like, no, stop tweeting. Go talk about something else. Oh, bro, you just can't be saved. I don't know. You just can't be saved. We're trying 1,000 different things. It is what it is, okay? Don't forget it loves you though, friends. Still long, still strong. Bull market still going. Make sure you like, subscribe, bell button, and I'll catch you soon.